Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to read you a story illustrated by Usborne, and today's story is Beauty and the Beast. There was once a very, very rich man named Pierre, who gave his 3 daughters everything they wanted. Bring us emeralds and rubies and silks from the market, demanded Sophie and Marie, his eldest daughters. Pierre turned to his youngest daughter, who was standing quietly by. "Don't you want anything, Beauty?" he asked. "May I have a rose?" asked Beauty. Pierre waved goodbye to his daughters and galloped away on his sleek white horse. As he rode, a thick fog filled the air. He went on blindly until suddenly the fog rolled back to reveal a towering castle looming before him. "Where am I?" Pierre gasped. The castle gates opened slowly before him with a ghostly creak. Wonderingly, Pierre rode through the mist and up to the castle. The wooden doors were firmly shut. As Pierre raised his hand to knock, the doors swung open by themselves. "Hello," he called. No one answered, but he only heard his own voice echoing off the stone walls. Pierre followed his nose to an enormous feast. He sat down nervously. A full plate floated over to him and he cried out in surprise. But he was cold and starving and the food smelled so good. "I hope no one minds," he thought, picking up a silver fork. Feeling full and tired, Pierre rose from the table. Instantly, a bed appeared before him. Pierre was too exhausted to question it. He just lay down and fell asleep. "I might find the owners and thank them," thought Pierre when he woke. He set out to search the castle. Invisible hands opened all the doors, but he couldn't find a single living person anywhere. Perhaps everyone's outside, he wondered. In the garden, he found a beautiful rose bush. As he sniffed the blooms, he remembered his promise to Beauty. The instant Pierre plucked a rose, a huge shadow fell over the rose bushes. He spun around, clutching the flower to his chest. A hideous creature stood before him. "How dare you steal from the beast?" roared the creature. "I gave you food and shelter, and this is how you repay me? You thief! You'll pay me with your life." "I'm sorry," said Pierre. "I just wanted a rose for Beauty, for my daughter." "A daughter? I'll let you live if you send her to me," the beast declared. "If she refuses, you must return in a week." "I can't risk Beauty's life," Pierre thought. With a heavy heart, he told the beast he would return. Before Pierre left, the beast gave him a ruby bridle for his horse. He'll be able to find his way to your home and back, said the beast. The bridle will guide him, he thought. Pierre returned safely home, but as the week passed, he grew pale. What's wrong, father? Beauty wanted to know. Nothing, he replied. Please don't worry about me, he said. That night, Beauty thought she heard him crying. She found him asleep at his desk the next morning, with a letter in front of him. She picked it up and started to read. The letter said, Dearest daughters, when you read this letter, I will have left you forever. I took a rose from the garden of a monstrous beast, and he has sworn to kill me unless I bring him my youngest daughter. I could never do that to you, Beauty, so I have gone in your place. Farewell, your loving father. Oh no, cried Beauty. This is all my fault. Looking out of the window, Beauty saw her father's horse saddled up, ready to go. She knew what she had to do. Quickly and quietly, she scribbled a note for him and set off for the castle. Dear father, I have gone to the beast's castle instead of you. All my love, Beauty. Her father's horse seemed to know the way. He galloped down the twisting paths as if guided by a magic force. As the beast's castle came into view, Beauty gripped the reins in fear. She stopped at the castle's gates and tiptoed into a sweet-smelling garden. But as soon as she stepped into the sunlight, she heard a terrible growl. Who are you? Roared the beast. I'm Beauty, Pierre's daughter, she stammered out. He sent you to die, did he? The beast growled. Coward. Don't say that, said Beauty angrily. You have courage, said the beast, gazing back at her. As he spoke, Beauty was shocked to see great tears forming in his eyes. What's wrong? She asked. Having you here makes me realize I've been alone for so long, he sniffled. Poor beast, said Beauty, her heart filling with pity. I'll stay with you if you like. The beast grasped her hand, his eyes shining with hope. Thank you, he said. But you must let my father know I'm safe. That evening, Beauty and the beast dined together. The beast looked at Beauty very seriously, then knelt down before her. Will you marry me? He asked. I can't, gasped Beauty. I don't even know you. Very well, said the beast. He led her to her room and wished her good night. Beauty dreamed of home and woke wishing she was there. As she dressed, she saw a mirror by her bed, peering into it. She was amazed to see her father back at home. Seeing him safe and well lifted her spirits. It's time to explore, she decided. When Beauty went out into the garden, she saw exotic flowers and magical animals. At 8 o'clock, a gong rang for dinner. The beast was waiting for Beauty in the dining room. Did you find the mirror? He asked eagerly. I loved it. Thank you, Beauty replied. After dinner, the beast went down on one knee again. Beauty sighed. Beast, you're very kind, but I don't want to marry you. I thought that might be the answer, said the beast sadly. That night, Beauty had a strange dream. She was dining with a handsome prince. How can you bear to look at that ugly beast? He asked. He's not ugly inside, said Beauty. he's a monster," said the prince. Beauty awoke to the sound of birds. The prince had vanished. She spent the day wandering through empty rooms, glancing up at a portrait. She couldn't believe her eyes. It was the prince from her dream. At dinner that evening, she told the beast about the mysterious prince. "Do you know who he is?" asked Beauty. "I know him," replied the beast, "but I haven't seen him for years." They sat at the table in silence. "What's the matter?" the beast asked eventually with a worried frown. "I'm homesick," said Beauty. The beast pulled a ring from his pocket. "Oh, beast, I still won't marry you," she said quickly. The beast shook his head. "This isn't a wedding ring, it's magic. It will take you back to your father, but you must promise. You will return in 2 weeks." "I promise," said Beauty happily. "Oh, thank you, beast. Wear the ring on your finger, then you're ready to return. Just take it off again." Beauty nodded. She put on the ring and the room melted away. She felt herself falling, until suddenly she was back at home, and her father was staring at her open-mouthed. Beauty's father was overjoyed to see her. Unlike her sisters, when they heard her story about the beast, they hatched a secret plan. "If we make her stay longer, the beast will be angry. With any luck, he might even eat her," said Marie slyly. "And with Beauty gone, we'll have father's fortune to ourselves," added Sophie. The 2 weeks flew by, but Beauty kept thinking of the beast. When the time came for her to leave, her sisters burst out crying. "We can't live without you," they howled. "If you loved us, you'd stay." Reluctantly, Beauty stayed until one night she dreamed she saw the beast lying in his garden under a rose bush. Beauty woke with a start. "Something's wrong," she realized. "I must go to him." Quickly, Beauty took off the ring. The next instant, a cloud of swirling smoke surrounded her, and she vanished. Beauty was back in the garden. The beast was lying under the rose bush, just as in her dream. "Is that you, Beauty?" he asked. "I'm dying." "No," cried Beauty, horrified. She stroked his velvety face and kissed him. "You cannot die. Please, beast, I love you." There was a blinding flash. A handsome prince was kneeling before her. You were in my dream, and in the painting," cried Beauty. "Many years ago," he explained, "an angry fairy turned me into a beast because I refused to marry her. Only the love of a beautiful girl could make me human again." "But why were you dying?" asked Beauty. "The fairy said if I loved a girl who did not love me back, I would die of a broken heart." The prince replied. "You don't need to be afraid," said Beauty. "I do love you." Beauty and the prince were married the next day in a church filled with roses. All of Beauty's family came to the wedding. Her father looked on proudly, but her sisters left early with bad tempers. "Why does she get to marry a prince?" they complained. "It's not fair." "Life isn't fair," said a tiny voice. It was the fairy who had set a curse on the prince. "Your sister broke my spell," she said, "but at least I can give you exactly what you deserve. As you have hearts of stone," the fairy declared, "that's what you'll be forever." Then, feeling much better, she flew off to steal some wedding cake. The end. I hope all of you fall into a deep slumber and have beautiful dreams. And I also hope that you wake up to a beautiful day. Good night and sweet dreams.